Hello everybody, in today's video I'll be doing another wooden burr puzzle review. Now this one's name is called Mente, and it comes from Austria. Now the designer and builder of this name is Stefan Baumager. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If not, I apologize for that. And I bought it through a Facebook page called Puzzle Leisure. Now I really like the look of this one. It's just a 6-piece caged burr, and so what that means is I got 2, 2, and 2 on each axis. So it's 6 pieces, and then the whole cage is 1 piece. So when I take it all apart, I'll have an empty cage. Now I really like the look of this one. It's got this exotic looking wood where it's got these lines through it. It's called zebrano wood or zebrano because I guess it's, you know, striped like a zebra. Anyways, I really like the look of this puzzle. In fact, I've got another puzzle coming that's a 12-piece burr, a caged one that looks pretty much the same because I really like the look of this. Anyways, I think that this darker wood here is called wenge or wenge. It's W-E-N-G-E. And so the burrs and the corners are that, and then it's a zebrano cage. Now I think it looks really, really nice. So I haven't done any moves on this yet, so I'm going to go ahead and search for my first move. I'm guessing that it has to go in and out and not a sideways move, obviously. Okay, so that one wants to move. Does either of these? No. So this one moves. Any more? No. No, so let's go in 1 notch. About there probably. Nothing. Nothing. This one doesn't move around anymore. Let's go in 1 more notch. Oh, okay, so there's another piece that moves. Oh, and it moves this way too. All right, so is there another piece? How about if I don't do that? I can put that back. Now this is stuck there. This one goes back in. How did this go? Anyways, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll come back when I've got the first piece out, because this one isn't like this one here where you take the first piece out and then they all come out. This one is a level 11, which means it takes 11 moves for the first piece to come out, and then it takes 13 moves for the second, and then 12 more moves for the third piece, and then I'm guessing they all come out after that. So it's a level 11, 13, 12. So anyways, I'll come back when I've got the first piece out and tell you a bit about my experience with it. Alright, so as you can see, I've got the first piece out. Now, I actually worked for probably around 2 hours in order to get this thing out. It was quite tricky. This is only the first step. It was 11 moves to get this piece out, and then it is going to be 13 to get the next one out. And I just want to show you guys really quick. This is the first piece out, and you can see it's got a burn mark there. I guess that's like a insignia signature plus some handwritten stuff here, which honestly I can't really read. It says, I think this says 16 slash something, so maybe this is like the 16th one made. I'm not sure exactly. And those are the initials of the person that designed it and made it, I think. Also on this piece you can see that this section here has been glued on. And so I think what he does is he cuts it all along this way and then glues in another piece, because how would you cut that, right? So anyways, that's the piece. It's very well made. I really enjoy this. Now, for getting the first piece out, the experience for me was new. I mean, I guess I came across something that I'd never come across in any other puzzle before, and that was a really tight piece. Now, I tried many ways over a couple of hours. I tried every single way I could to try to get a new move, and I just kept getting stuck at a certain point. And I just couldn't get past it. But there was one specific move in general that I thought it might be able to go, but it was very tight. So I'm actually going to show you that right now. So this is the point that I kept getting stuck at. I thought maybe this one here could come up, but it's very tight in there. You can see that we've got this piece down here, and it's very tight, and I didn't want to force it because I didn't want to break it. I thought maybe it's blocked somewhere else, but then looking at it from this angle, I can see that this does want to go in there, but I didn't want to break it, and I didn't know for sure. So what I actually did was ask the designer, or I didn't really ask him, I just told him I was having trouble with it, and he told me the step, and it was exactly this. So it turns out that sometimes these puzzles can be tight, and you just really got to work the piece in there. As you can see, it's having a little bit of a hard time getting in there, and you kind of got to push up on this side, and it's wants to go, and then finally it goes and that piece came down, and now I can take the piece out. So I actually would have taken this first piece out within probably 15 minutes of playing with this thing if I had known that. So now I know that if a piece looks like it's really tight and hard to get out, then just examine it and make sure it can go in there, and if it can, then go ahead and force it in. That sounds really bad. I hope I'm not, you know, giving too much away by showing this part. It's quite a process to get it into this though, so I don't think so. I mean, I'm just kind of showing, it's nothing more than showing a picture, right? And it's not the designer's fault that that's tight, it's just moisture in the air, plus he designs them to be tight, and speaking with other people, this happens quite a lot. So it's really just examine the pieces, make sure it can go, and if it does, then let it go. So anyways, I'll come back when I've got this thing fully disassembled. Alright, so as you can see, I've got this thing completely taken apart. I have taken out 2 of the burrs though, so you can't see the actual mechanism, as the builder requested me not to expose all of it, but I can show some of them, so I'm showing you some of them now. This of course is the original piece that I took out, the first one with all the stuff on it, and then we have another one that looks fairly simple like this, and then these 2. So the other pieces are relatively the same, they just have different notches and stuff, but this is what the cage looks like without any of the burrs in it. So it's just a solid cage, and it turns out that caged puzzles like this, like a 6-piece burr, isn't really that hard, but once you put it in a cage, it actually really makes it a lot more difficult, and I can definitely agree with that one. So the solving experience for me was really nice. The second piece took 2 hours to get out, and actually I was getting a little bit frustrated with it, to be honest, and then I took my friend Aaron's advice and I stopped moving the pieces, and I just really took a look on the inside, what I could see, move some pieces a little bit and see what they were shaped like, and really made a good judge of what piece is going to come out next. And then what I did from there is I said, okay, in order for that piece to come out, what do I do? Okay, so this piece has to move, but that's blocked by this piece, and this piece is blocked by this piece. So I'm kind of working backwards to find what piece I have to move first, and then I attempt it, and sometimes, you know, I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, and it's all trial and error. But once I actually took the time to study the pieces and try to figure out what piece is going to come out next, it only took me 5 minutes. I mean, I spent 2 hours just moving pieces around randomly. So really, it's a learning experience with this. Like, I really got to pay attention to what I'm doing and study the pieces. It actually does make it a lot easier, and you're actually thinking about the puzzle, and it's not just a guessing game, which is how I've solved some previous ones. Anyways, so that's really awesome. So I do have the Burr Tools file, which is a computer program that has this in 3D and kind of shows me how to put it back together, because assembly isn't super interesting to me, but I am going to try without the Burr Tools file. And when I took out the third piece, they all kind of fell out, and I don't know which ones went where. So it's a little bit discouraging for me to have to take the time to try to figure that out. I mean, like I said, assembly is not, too interesting to me, but I want to try, and I think what I'm going to do is go back to the footage you've already seen, because I can look back and I can see what pieces are where, and if I can't tell what they're shaped like, I can probably tell by the grain. So you can see here that this one's got a grain of wood and this one is completely different. So I might be able to tell like that. So I'm going to give it a shot, and then I'm going to come back and let you know if I could do it or if I had to use Burr Tools. Okay, so as you can see, I've got this thing back together, and I actually didn't even have to resort to the Burr Tools file. I was able to look back at my previous footage that I recorded, and like I said, I looked at wood grains and I saw which pieces went where, and I was able to piece it back together that way. It was actually pretty obvious. There was a couple of parts where I was a little bit stuck on, but then I just kind of remembered back, because I'd spent so much time taking it apart. I kind of remembered the steps and kind of then worked backwards from there. And it was easy to put back together. So this is a really fun puzzle, a nice challenge. I highly recommend this puzzle. So anyways, I've got more puzzles to work on. So now that I've conquered this one, I'm going to work on the rest. So thanks, Stefan, for designing this puzzle and building it for me. And I will see you guys on my next video.